Yo, man, I was checking out a little bit of Alan Roger Carey's video that he dropped. You know what I mean? Y'all should check it out. He was talking about his definition of alpha males and beta males. You know what I'm saying? And obviously online, man, you're gonna get a lot of different definitions of alpha males and beta males. You know, um, and that's fine. Everybody has a different perspective on that. I've noticed. I don't really think that it's a wrong answer. You know what I'm saying? It's all on your perspective, man. I think for the most part, excuse me, universally, there's some things that's similar. I understand that. But usually online, what I've noticed is this. Usually online, guys are talking about sexual alphas. You know what I'm saying? Um, when they talk about alpha males, it's usually in the realm of sex with women. You know what I'm saying? That's usually what I see, and that's usually what I hear. And when I was listening to Alan Roger Carey's video, um, that's pretty much what he was talking about. He wasn't speaking of different aspects of a man's life. You know what I'm saying? In some ways, he pretty much disqualified that. And said a lot of these don't matter. Alan Roger Carey summed it up to this. You know, how easy you can get sex from a woman and not spending any money on a woman, you know, or spending the minimal amount of money on a woman to get sex from her. You know what I'm saying? Um, I agree and I disagree. And I got to put it like this. There's a thin line between bid bucking it and being an alpha male if you just going to restrict everything to sex. You know what I mean? Um, and I'm trying to be careful with my words so I won't be misquoted. But I'm going to leave this live stream up anyway. Um, a man could be bid bucking it and don't even know. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of that, especially in the black community. We have a lot of bid bucking it. Real talk. And at the end of the day, Alan Roger Carey usually has the I know a man argument. You know what I mean? And that shit usually gets my blood boiling because, in life, we all know a person, man. I swear to God, in high school, I know a guy that got shot in the back of his head, man. I ain't lying to you. A few months later, this guy was back in school. But that's not every guy. Usually, when you get shot in the back of your head, you're going to die. You see what I'm saying? So, by that metric, we all know a guy, man. I swear to God, I know a guy that got shot in the back of his head, man. You know what I mean? And when he came back to school, you can see the scar right there. He actually got shot 5 times, but one was to the back of his dome piece. You know what I'm saying? And we thought he was going to be out, excuse me, for the rest of the year. A few months later, he healed up on some 50 Cent shit. Came right back to school. He was a soldier like that. So we all know a guy, man. That shit right there. Usually people do that when they want to substantiate their points, right? I do the same thing from time to time. You know what I'm saying? I do the same thing from time. We all do it. We all do it. But back to the bed bucking it. Yo, man, I don't, for one, on my channel, right? I don't speak on a lot of the things that women have done for me financially over the course of my life. I don't speak on those things. I rarely speak on it, if ever. I might have brought it up once or twice. And the reason I don't speak on those things is simply because you know, I never wanted to be represented like that in the public. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to be represented like that. You know what I mean? I want, usually when people say my name, they think of the battlefield, they think of the 50 cal, they think of self improvement. Um, you know what I mean? They think of a soldier. That's just, how I would like to present myself, or how I would want people to remember me. So I tend to stay out of that bag. But for the sake of this live stream, I'm gonna speak on a few things, man. I've had women in my life spend money on me. Um, you know what I'm saying? And some women I was in relationships with, so it was just a part of the relationship where we broke bread on each other. And some women just came with gifts, you know what I mean? We was just fucking, and they would just do whatever to come around, you know what I'm saying? Um, but a lot of that type of shit, I'm not speaking for me personally. It never really moved me personally. That's not a part of my DNA. So I know a lot of dudes pride themselves off of that, and I understand. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna say it flat out. That's only a conversation that I have with my black friends. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have that conversation with my Muslim friends. I don't have that conversation with, some white guys that I know. I don't have that conversation with some Hispanic guys that I know. That conversation is usually restricted for my black friends and shit. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be honest, man. Um, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna be real with you and shit. And even within that, it's levels because depending on who I'm around, as far as my black friends, a lot of guys that I'm around, they not going for that either. I'm talking about my black friends. They not concerned with how much pussy I get or how much money women spent on me. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck about that shit, man. They all about innovation. They all about building. They all about progress. They about ownership. They about, shit like that. Breaking new ground. You know what I mean? So it just all depends on which black friends I'm speaking with, too. If I go to the barbershop by chance, yeah, we'll have them conversations. If I go sit down with my mentor, Dr. Avon, if I don't come with him, if I don't come at him with something new that I've been into in my life, he gonna get on my ass. Pause. Facts. He gonna be like, nigga, what the fuck you been doing with your life? You know what I mean? He's that type of, I'm talking about my mentor, Dr. Avon. He ain't playing that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? He don't give a fuck about that. He like, nigga, if you ain't out here trying to build something, if you ain't out here trying to own some shit, if you ain't out here trying to get some power, get the fuck out of my office. And he'll tell me just like that. You know what I mean? He'll tell me just like that. Get the fuck out of my office, because you ain't even trying. I'm just going to be honest, man. So, it depends on which circles I'm running with that day. But again, I've only had these conversations with my black friends and shit. You know what I'm saying? It kind of is what it is. But moving on from that, the alpha male piece is like this, man. And I got my own version of what an alpha male is. I did a video about it on my channel, Dime Getting the Vision channel. I don't need to get off into that, but you know, if it's only restricted to how much pussy you get, I know a lot of hood niggas that are bid bucking it. I'm just gonna be honest. A lot of physically attractive niggas from the hood that don't have a pot to piss in, but they fuck all kind of professional women. You know what I'm saying? They fuck women with bread, women with good jobs, straight up and down. But in no way, shape, or form are these niggas in control of anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be honest. In no way, shape, or form are these niggas productive members of society. I'm just gonna be honest. No, they not. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it comes down to perspective too. Because from my perspective, if you bed bucking it with a woman and you having her way, you having your way with her sexually, I get that. But if you wake up in the morning and you still don't feel like a man because your life is fucked up, or your shit ain't clicking right, or you ain't working toward anything, or the only power you got in your life is some pussy, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, man. You know what I mean? I don't know about that. It's just my personal opinion. I don't know about that, man. Straight up and down. And there was times in my life where I was hitting some professional chicks and shit. And what would happen is, I mean, like, you see me, man. I mean, you see me. I got tattoos all over my fucking body. I mean, I got dirt under my nails. I mean, you're not going to mistake me from anybody studious, man, when you meet me. You know what I mean? You're going to feel the energy, man. And with that being said, I had my way with these women sexually, but there were times in the exchanges where it could get embarrassing. So I'll give you an example. One day I was hanging out with Callista, right? This little chick I was dealing with. Now, Callista was the head of HR for a hospital. You know what I mean? I'm not going to name the hospital. But she was the head of HR for a hospital, making crazy bread. And then she had a little side business too, right? Now, there were times where I kicked it with Callista and her homegirls. Just on, or sometimes her homegirls would bring their friends, guy friends and shit. But we'll all kick it. Now, you can imagine during the exchange, we all talking. We all are kicking it, right? We all are exchanging pleasantries. At some point, somebody gonna ask me, well, what do you do? I mean, she's the head of HR. He's an engineer. He got his own construction company. He owned 2 trucks. And at the time, I was just going to college, bro. You know what I mean? I just got out the military. I was just going to school for a time. I mean, I guess that's laudable, but you ain't making no money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the time, I had some bread stacked up, but I wasn't on their level. You know what I mean? And in the middle of the conversation, you can kind of pick up on people's vibes, and you can pick up on the cues and read between the lines when people stop communicating with you on that level, and they dumb it down, and they come down to your vibration like, all right, this little nigga ain't really about. Like, this is what they thinking, like, he ain't really about shit. So we gonna talk to him about basketball. Like, these are real things, people. Like, these are real things. Like, we gonna talk to him about football. Hey, man, did you see that hit Ray Lewis did on that? You know what I mean? Shit like that. But you know what they doing. They don't want to make you feel out of place because they know that you bid bucking it with Callista. They know Callista. You know what I mean? They know Callista would prefer a young, attractive man than she would prefer a guy that she worked with, maybe a doctor or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So, in these situations, it started to become kind of embarrassing, man. I'm gonna be honest. It really did, man. After you go through that 2 or 3 times, you know what I mean? You realize you're bid bucking it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I remember with Callista, and I'm gonna use Callista as an example because I remember Callista in particular, and these are real things, people. Because Callista didn't work far from where I lived at the time. She would work 5 minutes down the road, 5 or 6 minutes down the road. So sometimes after I would get from the gym, you know what I mean? Like, Callista would hit me up. Y'all hit that like button, please. Y'all excuse me. Y'all hit that like button, please. So sometimes Callista would hit me up like, hey, Boogie, what you doing? Woo, 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 woo. And she'd be like, hey, man, stop up to the job and see me for a second. I'd be like, all right. I'd be like, look, let me go shower and shit, man. I just got back from the gym. And I don't have on a tight little Under Armour shirt or whatever. That's when I was banging out twice a day. So a nigga was sitting up real right. Shoulders was bowling ball material. And she used to always want me to come to her job in my workout gear. Why? So she can show me off to her coworkers and shit. And after about the third time, I finally picked up on it. See, I didn't like that shit. To me, that was hella disrespectful. I was bed bucking it, bro. I was bed bucking it, bro. You know what I mean? And I cut that part of the shit off. You know what I mean? And me and her was just real cool like that, man. We kicked it just on the humble and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't, a disrespectful thing as far as how I approached it. I just cut the shit off, man. I mean, a nigga was bed bucking it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And look, Callista did everything I told her to do. There were times I told Callista to come drop me off some fast food on her way home. Like, hey, pick me up something from McDonald's or whatever. She'll pull up to my apartment in her cherry red BMW with the Hello Kitty floor mats on that bitch. Swear to God, these are real things, people. She will pull up in her cherry red Beamer with the Hello Kitty floor mats. And just to bring me some food. You know what I'm saying? These are real things. But how do I want to put this? Granted, she did what I told her to do on some levels, and I had my way sexually, but in social settings, things would have to be dumbed down because I wasn't as accomplished as her circle. You see what I'm saying? If it make any sense to y'all. So how can I fully feel like an alpha male in these situations when I'm not even in control of what's going on in the cipher? The only thing I'm in control is Callista's pussy. You see what I'm saying? But that's my perspective. That's my perspective. See, in a lot of these conversations, there's a lot of nuance that we don't get into. But I do. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, I do. So, after those situations happened a few times in my life, I started to be real careful about the situations I put myself in. You know what I mean? So I won't be embarrassed. It's like this. If you meet a woman that you like, let's say you meet an exceptional woman, right? An exceptional woman. Like the girl, just like a woman you can't deny, my nigga. The girl you've been thinking about. The girl you could put on paper. Let's say you meet that woman, right? And you know you might not meet another woman like that again. She hitting all, excuse me. She hitting all cylinders and shit. And y'all kicking it. And you ain't really got much going on in your life. But the girl like you. And she take you home to meet her father and meet her family. Well, you know when it come to fathers, there's a couple things they want to know. Fathers want to know, can you protect my daughter? Can you provide for my daughter? And are you a man of your word? Ain't no running games on the fathers, and that's why fathers are important. Yeah, what do you do for a living? What if you work at Walmart or some shit? So, yeah, what if that's the, seriously, and it's nothing wrong with working at Walmart, but I'm saying, depending on what age you are too. If you're 35, my nigga, I mean, something clearly happened in your life. If you're 21, it's all good, you know what I mean? But if you're 35, clearly, something major has happened. Clearly, something's off and shit. That you would be at Walmart. If you're not like a manager or a general manager or some shit, something's a little off with that. So you go home and meet Shorty Pops. You go home and meet the girl father. And that's all you got to show. So he probably like, all right, Walmart, whatever. It's a job. All right, what else you do? You like, that's it. I work at Walmart and I play Fortnite. You know what I mean? Dog, my nigga, you might get laughed out the living room. And even if the guy, the father, don't embarrass you right there, best believe he's gonna have a conversation with his daughter and let her know in no uncertain terms, look, I worked my ass off my whole life. I worked my ass off my whole life. This seems like a nice young man, but clearly his ambition is on zero. And I would, for real, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I would tell my daughter. I mean, she gonna do what she wanted to do. I mean, kids do what they want to do. But you give your input anyway. Like, look, this nigga ain't got nothing going on. You'll be a fool to put yourself in that position. Period. This nigga work at Walmart. So when that light bill due, and this nigga can't take care of what he got to take care of, don't call me for shit. Straight up. Don't call me for a motherfucking thing. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And some fathers be on that shit. Like, you want trash, you deal with trash. But Alan Roger Carey was talking about short-term fucking, so maybe this is not going on. So let's keep it at the fucking in the bed bucket. You know what I mean? I'm just giving a few scenarios about this shit. If it's only restricted to sex, my nigga. If it's only restricted to sex, I know a lot of homosexuals in the hood niggas, but they look good in a white beater, and they keep a fresh lineup. But they ain't got no whips. Can you really feel like an alpha male and a woman is picking you up, my nigga? I mean, I don't even like when my mind drift down to these places. I'm gonna be honest, because it's really sad because I only have these conversations with my black friends. I just gotta be honest. Can I be honest today? Or do we gotta cap? You know, the young niggas say cap. I mean, y'all let me know if we can be honest. If we gotta cap, we can cap. You know me, I like to get it straight down the middle. Like, fuck it. So, y'all take y'all time and let me know if we can be honest. I'm gonna fall back for a second. Because we ain't gotta be honest. We can just talk about the bullshit. I can make you feel good and shit. Get you in, you know what I mean? I make you feel good. Play to your ego. But the truth, I only had these conversations with my black friends, man. These are not conversations I have with my Akis, man. Yo, my Akis just slap the shit out of me if I come around them with this and shit. You know what I mean? Shout out to my god body niggas. They wouldn't even allow these kind of conversations to come up. I'm gonna be honest. They wouldn't even allow me to speak like this. So boom. Like I said, do you really feel like an alpha male if a woman is picking you up in her car? I mean, are you serious, man? I mean, maybe you do. Maybe you do. I mean, can you really feel like a man? Let me give you another scenario. I was in New Orleans. Shout out to New Orleans. I was in the Big Easy, right? I was in the NO. I was in New Orleans with this woman that I was dealing with, right? We was having a nice little weekend down there, kicking it all up and down Bourbon Street. I had this nice Airbnb right there close to Canal Street. Living life, my nigga. Sipping daiquiris all day, eating barbecue oysters. I was living, having a good time, my nigga. It was this little food spot on the corner, right there on the corner by my Airbnb that I used to go to, you know what I mean? Because it was real quick. But the food was slamming too, right? So one day, me and the girl, I'm not going to say her name, but me and the girl, we went down to the food spot to get some grub, right? So boom. I got me a shrimp po' boy. I got a shrimp po' boy. Them bitches be slamming, don't they? Nigga, I'll get a shrimp po' boy and sit up on St. James and chill with a daiquiri. Facts. You know what I mean? If you catch me in New Orleans, nigga, I got a shrimp po' boy, a daiquiri, and you probably can find me on St. James. These are big facts. Or if you catch me in Biara, you catch me on Baton Rouge, coming from Lafayette, they got to exit off of Holland, make that left on East Buchanan, right there on Carolina Street by Miss Tiny, nigga. These are real things, people. These are real things. But the point is this. I go down there to get my shrimp po' boy. And Shorty ordered whatever she ordered. I think she got a fish platter or some shit, right? The food was banging. So we get up to the counter. Shorty pull out her credit card because it was her turn to pay. I mean, it was her turn to pay. And she paid for it. And the Aki dude behind the counter looked at me like I was crazy. These are real things, people. Yo, man, y'all hit that like button for me, y'all, please. Y'all hit that like button for me, please, please. Hold me down, man. Hold your boy down. The Aki nigga that was behind the counter looked at me like I was crazy. You know what I mean? He looked at me like I was bed bucking. And really, this wasn't a bed buck situation. This was a little mini vacation that me and the girl had. We was just kicking it. And we was damn near like alternating who paid for what. Sometime I would just pull out my credit card. Sometime we ain't even think about it. Whoever got to that credit card first paid for it. But the way that he looked at me, I'm going to be honest, he was looking at me like, you know what I mean? And then I got the bags, she paying for the food. You know what I'm saying? So, there's no way that I could have felt like an alpha male in that situation when I got another man sizing me up like, yo, Aki, why your girl paying for your food, slime? But he didn't even know the particulars. You know what I'm saying? So I almost had a little situation with my Aki, and, you know, I end up getting on the girl ass after that, because I was in my feelings. Now I was in my ego. And I told Shorty, don't pull out your credit card like that no more. And I end up spazzing on her. These are real things, people. I'm right there off St. James, man. Don't give me a hard time. These are real things. I ended up spazzing on her because because another man sized me up right there. This ain't no female shit. This ain't about no bitches. Now another man sized me up, my nigga. And it hit different. It hit different. It hit different when another man looking at. I'm talking about another race of man. I mean, my Akis, man. I got a lot of love for my Akis, man. I got a lot of love for my Akis. But that nigga looked at me like I was a no good ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? These are real things. And I couldn't even say nothing. I couldn't even defend myself. It was just a look, and I knew what that look meant. Like, oh, we got another Negro in here being sponsored by his bitch. Wow. Threw some ketchup in the bag and looked at me like, all right, get the fuck out. And then I was so pissed off that I couldn't choke him on some Bart Simpson shit. I wanted to choke the nigga like Bart Simpson. I ended up going off on Shorty. I ended up going off on the girl. Like, look, don't even pull your credit card out with her. Don't even do that shit no more. I got it. After that, I was very hesitant about a woman paying for anything for me. Why? Because the perception of other races of men look at us like we little boys. You gotta understand how these things work, my nigga. And these are real things. I'm on St. Charles. I'm on goddamn Martin Luther King on my shrimp po' boy, man. If you find me in New Orleans, you probably catch me on St. James, my nigga. That's where I be at. You know what I mean? And I can go down scenario after scenario after scenario with these things. So, y'all let me know. In these situations, I had my way with the women sexually. I had my way with these women sexually. Whatever I wanted. Hit in the morning. Ain't no fucking that night. Ain't no fucking her. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I want. Threesomes. Whatever I wanted. Callista loved when I fucked her homegirls. Callista loved when I fucked her homegirls. She wouldn't have it any other way. Callista was a big... She was one of them live free women. She just liked to live free. Callista loved when I fucked some of her homegirls. She would throw these wild parties and shit. But when shit hit the fan and shit got real, could I really feel like an alpha man? Maybe I can. Or was I bed bucking it and didn't even know it? and didn't even know it. And that's why on my channel, if y'all been watching my content from the beginning, y'all know I don't talk about the money that women have spent on me. You know what I mean, I might have spoken on it once or twice. I don't get into that. Because I seen the other side of that coin too. And I didn't like what's on the other side of that coin. You know what I mean? For me, but that's just me. You know what I mean? That's just me. And again, these are only conversations I have with my black friends. These are only conversations I have with my black friends. Straight up and down. One of my best friends in the world is one of my Hispanic buddies from Baltimore. Me and him never had these type of conversations. You know what I mean? We just don't do it. It's just so insignificant to us and shit. You know what I mean? So, a lot of black men are okay with bed bucketing, bro. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of black men are fine with that. I'm not. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not, man. You know, I lived with a woman one time in my life. I'm talking about where I moved in to her spot. I've had a few women move in with me, but I've moved into a woman's spot one time, and it was the worst decision I ever made. It's no way a nigga can convince me you feel like an alpha male living with a woman. I'm not even going for it. That's just something I'll agree to disagree with a nigga. That's just a conversation I'm not even going to have with anybody. With anybody. I don't give a fuck if you're my father. I won't even have that conversation with you. It's no way that you can move in with a woman and feel like an alpha male, bro. It's too many things that come up that can emasculate you. It's too many things that happen. You know what I'm saying? Somebody knock on the door. They don't even acknowledge you. They go in and talk to her. Like, hey, Tiffany home? They don't even know who you is. You see what I'm saying? Her family stopped by, and you don't even feel like kicking it that night. Now you got to put on some clothes and entertain, because our family wanted to stop by. Nigga, please, man. But if that was your house, you would cut that out. Like, nah, we ain't having no company tonight. But that's her crib. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Real talk. It's no way that you can feel like a fully alpha male in these situations. It's no way possible. I don't give a fuck what a nigga say. It's no way possible that you can. It's too many things that come up that will emasculate you at some point or another, depending on how long you stay there. Depending on how long you stay there. And if you stay there long enough, nigga, you're not going to be coming and going as you see fit. Let's just be for real. See, women get a little bit froggy when you stand in their crib. Women got a lot more slack when you stand in their crib. You know what I'm saying? They do. They do. Opposed to your spot, because they know you kick their ass out anytime you want to. So what we talking about, man? You know what I mean? Straight up. Straight up. And again, there's a thin line between trying to be a sexual alpha male and being a damn bed buck, man. A lot of people don't know the difference. You know what I mean? And it don't have to be the woman emasculating you directly. In any of these scenarios, the woman didn't emasculate me. It was the entire scenario that happened. It was everything in totality. You know what I'm saying? It was everything in totality, bro. I give you another scenario. Once again, I was living with a woman. I was living with a woman, and I think I told this story before, but I'll tell it really quick. I think the dryer broke, or the washing machine. I think it was the dryer that broke, and I didn't know if it was the fuse box or the dryer, and I didn't want to touch it. So I called my mans, because my mans was the electrician. I called my boy, like, yo, can you stop by the crib and take a look at it? Because I don't want to touch it, because I don't know if it's the fuse box or the actual dryer. So he was like, all right, dog, when I get off tonight, I'm going to come look at it. So boom. That was a had a handle. Had a handle. Why Shorty father come to the crib? Her father came to the crib and he fixed it. Do you know I got off in her ass about that shit? This was one of the most emasculating times of my life. Why? Because I'm the man. And I did have it handled. I did have it handled. I did. I did. I just had to wait for my boy to get off work. You know what I'm saying? I was on top of that. But, I mean, I'm no electrician, though. Her father came to fix it. And you know what happened when the father came? I was sitting on the couch watching TV. I just happened to be watching TV at the time. And it made me look so lazy. You know what I mean? Because he downstairs fixing the dryer. And I just sat down and I was watching TV. And it just made it look like I was so incompetent when really that wasn't the case. I had it handled. The dryer would have been fixed by that night. Because my boy was going to do it for free. I would have just thrown like $20 or whatever for gas. You know what I'm saying? There was no need to call the electrician. The dad came to fix it. Talk about some emasculating shit. And I went off on her so bad, dog. I lit her motherfucking ass up, my nigga. I lit her motherfucking ass up, dog. For real. I completely blacked out on her, man. And you know what? She ain't do nothing wrong. That was my shit. I had no business. I had no business being in that position. Beer bucketing. Should I provide y'all with more scenarios? Or did I make my point? Y'all let me know. See, these are things that I don't talk about online because it's some emasculating ass shit. You know what I mean? Straight out. If we gonna talk about some real shit, you dig? Anytime you fucking a woman long enough for an extended period of time, these things are gonna come up, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to make nothing look pretty for nobody and shit. I'm not here to, feel like the man. I'm gonna give it to niggas raw and uncut. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Raw and uncut, man. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, what do I talk about in my content? Maintaining the high ground. I've been telling y'all that on my channel from day one. As a man, you maintain the high ground. You maintain the high ground. I've been saying that from day one. And it's a reason why I say that, because I've been in these situations, dog. Straight up. I've been in these situations, dog. And in no way, shape, or form, just because I had control of the girl pussy, that I feel like a fucking alpha male. In no way, shape, or form in these situations. The only time I felt like an alpha male is when that girl was riding on my dick. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. So no, like I've always made it a point not to tell anybody about the times that women spent money on me and shit like that. I don't talk about that type of shit on my channel. Because all the experiences wasn't positive, man. All these experiences of women spending money on me wasn't positive, bro. Some of these situations turned out pretty bad. Like I was telling y'all about the spot in New Orleans, where my Aki nigga was looking at me crazy. For real. Like when my girl put out her credit card to pay for the food, my Aki nigga was looking at me like I was crazy, bro. And I got so pissed off, I really wanted to kick his fucking ass, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, but anyway, moving on from that. ARC has some other things in his content about, being an alpha male. And I'll just leave that alone. I'll just leave that shit alone. I just wanted to get the main point out about bed bucking it. I'll leave some of that stuff alone because that's his perspective. I'm not here to argue his perspective. I'm just here to provide a little bit more to what he was saying. You know, I don't all the way disagree with what Alan said, but I just have a different perspective. That's all I'm saying. You know, when I think of an alpha male, I just think of things with totality. You know, there's this misconception out here that some guys, you know, if they spend money on women, that they can't get the pussy for free. You know, or at least that's what it's starting to seem like. I mean, I don't agree with that, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I don't. You know what I mean? There were times where I've been in the club with ball players and they just felt like buying a bunch of champagne for people. I'm talking about for the women that was in a circle and shit. And they could have got the pussy for free. They was creepy bitches and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's how they like to party though. There were times where I've been at the bar and I'm talking to a young lady. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna order me a drink and not get her a drink. Are you serious? How many women going for that? You know what I'm saying? In the first place. I wouldn't even do no shit like that. That's just not how I get down. If I've been holding a conversation with a woman and we chopping it up and I order me a drink, I'm like, hey, shorty, what you know? What you want a Patron sour? What you want an Armourita sour? Got you. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna go in and just do it. My mind don't even go to these places where I feel like less of a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So my mind don't go to these places. You know what I'm saying? If I'm having a good time, I'm having a good time. And my good time might cost me a couple dollars a little bit. And that's fine, man. You know what I mean? I don't feel like less of a man. I would feel like less of a man when I was on a battlefield in Iraq and I didn't bust my gun when I needed to. That's when I would feel like less of a man. So everything is about perspective. I got a different perspective on what a man is. See, on a battlefield, I show my ass. Period. And I'm kind of going somewhere else with this, but y'all follow me. I'm gonna catch you up beat. On a battlefield, I show my ass. I'm talking about when it's time for men to really be men, for men to get into combat and do what we do, and strike other men, and be prepared to be striked. I show my ass on that 50 cal. Facts. That's what I do. I will flip your fucking car over with that 50 cal. Been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? See, if I didn't perform under those conditions, then yeah, I would feel like less of a man. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, buying a woman a drink, I don't give a fuck about that little $12 for that drink. Shit don't mean nothing to me. I perform at the highest level. I'm just being honest. I performed at the highest level that a man can perform. Meaning I've saved lives. Meaning I've took lives. I've took lives to save lives. But all my soldiers came home, bro. Period. That's in the story. When I went to Iraq and being who I was, and it was guys that family was counting on me to bring them home, oh, I brought them home by any means necessary. And as simple as that. I think about it every day. Every day. A day don't go by when I don't think about that shit. Not one fucking day. I performed at the highest level, boss. Period. So for me, you know, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So basically what I'm saying is any nigga with a white beater on in a fresh lineup in the hood and some tattoos can get some pussy. And he can have it his way if he a halfway decent looking nigga. We see it every day. But not every nigga can get up on that 50 cal. So when I think of an alpha male, I think of shit in totality. You know what I mean? I do. I think of the whole package. I think of the whole package, dog. You know what I'm saying? I don't just think that it's just because a man can get some pussy without paying that he's an alpha male. What the fuck? I mean, Man, that's a low bar, dog. To me. To me. And that same nigga can't build a lemonade stand. And that's why I said, usually online, guys are talking about sexual alphas. You know what I mean? But even then, it's levels because a nigga could be bed bucking and don't even know it. A woman could be fucking the shit out you and you got some amazing dick, but she got no respect for you. She got no respect for you, dog. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I mean? She just in love with the orgasms and shit. She just in love with the way you fuck her. Man, this happens every day. You know what I'm saying? So, what we talking about? A little nigga in the hood that look good in the white beater and his lineup is good ain't gonna have no problem getting a bunch of pussy. But that same little nigga never worked the cash register, never built the lemonade stand. How the fuck can he say he an alpha male? He think he an alpha male till he get at the table with some alpha males. And slowly but surely, he's gonna feel like a beta. He's gonna feel unaccomplished, incompetent, and unworthy of sitting at that table. I'm saying this because this has happened to me. Period, man. That's why anything I indulge in life, I gotta, I got to own this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. I got to build it and own it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I've been invited to speak at certain places and functions that I'ma leave nameless, and I turned it down so we can build up the self-improvement summit. Period. That makes me feel like an alpha male. You know what I'm saying? That's just it's just my personal opinion. And I still can get some pussy. I can do both. Because I can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. Period. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm gonna say this one more time. These are only conversations I have with my black friends, man. I swear to God, I don't have these conversations with my Akis, man. I don't have these conversations with my Akis. I don't have these conversations with my Hispanic homeboys, man. Let's just be honest, man. Y'all don't have these conversations with y'all Aki friends, do you? Maybe one of them or something, because we all know one guy. But these ain't no conversations you having with the white boys at your job. No, you're not. Not like that. And don't lie to me either. These ain't no conversations I have with the white maintenance man and shit. No, I'm not,